We welcome to the show Chazz Palminteri. How's it going?
It's going great. I'm excited about coming to London. First time I'll be doing the show live anywhere outside the United States.
Wonderful. I mean, do you like our country? Have you been to England before?
Oh yeah, many times. I love it there. I've been going there since I've been making movies. Back in, I went there the first time probably in '93 when when I did Bronx Tale, and De Niro and I went there. And no, I love it there. I love London. Very civilized place.
Yeah, and you did also do a gangster film with Tom Hardy, didn't you? About the Cray twins legend. That was
Yes, that
good.
was great. Yes, I enjoyed that very much. Yes.
And what are your memories of being involved in that project?
With the with Tom Hardy?
Yeah.
Oh, it was great working with him. He's a great actor. What I couldn't get over was he played the twins, and because I was working opposite him, we after we did one part, I sat in my trailer and I waited till he came out dressed as the other twin, and it was really remarkable how he transformed himself. It was pretty remarkable. I never forgot that. He's a great actor.
Yeah. And of course, A Bronx Tale is a fantastic film, and you not only starred in it, but you wrote it as well. Is that correct?
That's correct. I wrote it. It's actually about my life. My real name is Calogero. So I'm the little boy in the movie. I don't know why I waited so long to do it. It's just, making movies, and I've been on a bunch of TV series here in America. And then I said, I'm getting that age now where I want to do it. I want other places in the world to see this because it's really special. It's just I've been doing it now for 34 years, and it's you know I won all these awards, and it was voted best show of the year in Las Vegas, and I just thought, you know what? Because so many people from London came to see it in America, and they always tell me, you got to bring it to London. They would love it. Bring it. And then finally I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. And maybe one day the musical will even come there. It's a great show. It's unique, Chris. It's very unique. It's never been done before, and it hasn't been done since. It's a person who who had this story in his head, and instead of making people read it, he showed it to them. He did the whole movie on stage himself. And you'll see, I'm sure, because I'm sure you saw the movie. When you see it, it's exactly the movie,
Mm.
but one person doing it.
So you're doing all the characters from the show, from the film,
Yes,
rather.
yes,
Wow.
yes. And when I first did it, it just took Hollywood and New York by storm. I mean, it was just the offers were coming in, and it was just millions of dollars were throwing my way, but they didn't want me. They wanted to put a star in the role of Sonny.
Ah.
Well, all the big stars wanted to do it at the time. Pacino and Nicholson and Redford and Burt Reynolds. I remember Robert Redford. I mean, everybody wanted to play Sonny. But the studio wanted like somebody else to write it, and I was like, "Are you crazy? No." So I turned down the $250,000. That was the first thing they offered me, 250, and I turned that down. And about a week later, it went up to 500, and I turned that down. I had about I had $200 left in the bank. That's true. And then it went up to 1 million, and I turned that down. And then it was up to 1.5 million, and I wouldn't give in. And then one night I did the show, just like I'm going to do it in London. And I got off, and they said, Robert De Niro's in your dressing room, and he wants to talk to you. And I walked in, and Bob De Niro was sitting there. And he was very nice and very kind. He told me how much he loved the show and how much he loved the story. And he was so, he said, look, if you end up selling it, they're going to come to me anyway. So he says, so why not let me make it with you? And he goes, I'll make it right and I'll make sure it's done correct. And he said, you should play Sonny. You'll be great as Sonny. And you should write it because it's your life. I'll play your father and I'll direct it. And I shook his hand, and that's how it happened.
Brilliant. Yeah, I was going to ask how easy or how difficult it was to get the film made, because you do hear that a lot of the time, that it can be quite difficult.
Well, no, this was the only difficult thing was for me to be in it.
Yeah.
But they wanted to make it from day one. I mean, it was a freak of nature. I have to be honest with you. It was an anomaly. Let's say it happened once with Sylvester Stallone, and then it happened again with me. It only
Mm.
happened like twice in show business. That's it. You know.
Yeah, because with Sly and Rocky, that
Yeah,
was kind of a similar thing, really, wasn't it?
yeah. I mean, the only difference is that I performed it on stage alone.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know. Yeah, but other than that, it was very similar. Yes.
And one of the scenes I love is in the bar with the biker gang. That's a really good
Yeah.
scene.
Oh, people just, Chris, everywhere I go, people yell, "Hey, Chaz, now you can't leave." When I get on an airplane, when the door closes, the pilot goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, now you can't leave." And I'm like, "Oh boy," and but you know what? It's a very quotable movie. It's probably as quoted as much as some of the like Godfather and stuff. It's all I hear is, "Now you can't leave. Is it better to be loved or feared? Throw him in the bathroom." Oh my God. It's, but I'm very humble and proud of it. I am.
Yeah, yeah. And you were speaking about Robert De Niro. Another scene I really love is where you're with the main character and his father, and that whole scenario of when De Niro's saying about that it's his son. That's a great scene, isn't it?
Oh,
Between a
yeah.
great exchange.
Yes. Well, I mean, you could see that De Niro had to walk a line there because, which my father did, because you have to say, look, this is my son, but you can't overstep your bounds because no matter how much Sonny liked me, you can't disrespect him in front of people. You can't do that to a wise guy. You can't do that. So my father was smart enough to walk a line there at the time.
Yeah, and it's hard for him, isn't it? I mean, he says what he wants to say and he gets it across, but as you say, you can't go too far in his shoes.
Right. I mean, he says, "I know what you can do, but I just want you to know this is my son." He's trying to reason with me like, come on now, it's my son, you know, and then it hits the wall, it hits, boom, blows up.
Yeah, and I like Sonny's advice for the car door test. I thought that was really good.
Yes. Oh, I hear that all the time. People go, "Oh, my wife passed the test," and oh my God, for 30 something years I've been hearing that, but yeah, I mean, see, the thing that makes it different, Chris, is that it's not like Sonny was bad and the father was good. They were both flawed. They were both gray and gray. Like Sonny told the boy to do exactly what the father told him. But my father, he didn't want me in that environment because he said, even though Sonny's not wanting you to be a wise guy, just being around them, you will be influenced and you will come into trouble. And he was right. He was
Yeah.
right. I
And what
was
was it like growing up in your neighborhood back in the day?
well. If it was Bronx Tale. That's exactly the way it was. It was great. I had a great childhood. Um, was there violent? Yes. Was there drugs? Yes. But we would come outside, and all the guys in all the buildings. There was no play dates back then where your parents had to drive you to somebody's house. You walked outside and there were like 40, 50 guys just hanging out. And we would have a great time. It was, I got pretty street smart from that.
Yeah, and there's some great music in the Bronx Tale as well, isn't there?
Yes. Well, it was actually De Niro had a brilliant idea. He said because of there were so many different elements, there was the wise guys, there was the young wise guys, then there was the black neighborhood, then there was the record store. So he wanted each group to be identified by their own music. So if you see it, you'll notice the big songs of that time were with all the white, the black, the older, the younger, and it really worked out great.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very iconic film, isn't it? In many
Yes,
ways. And in some ways it's different than other gangster films as well, isn't it? In some ways.
absolutely. Yes, it's not people say gangster movie, but it's really not. It's a family story.
Yeah.
It really is. At the end of it, like the studio originally, they didn't want Sonny to die. And I was like, Sonny has to die. That's it's a catharsis. The boy, Sonny dies, the boy realizes and lives on. It's Shakespearean, Romeo and Juliet. They kill each other, but the families come together. It's that a death brings life. And they couldn't understand that. But obviously, Bob De Niro that wasn't happening with Bob De Niro. So,
Yeah, that is interesting you say that. So originally they wanted Sonny to live. They didn't want him to die.
yes,
Wow.
yeah, they didn't want him to die. But they're thinking of sequels. I'm not thinking of sequels. I'm thinking of a great story.
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
care about sequels,
And usually with sequels, they're not as good as the first one anyway, normally.
except The Godfather. But other than
Yeah.
that, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah,
Godfather Part
yeah.
2.
That's about it, except that. But, you know, um, I'm just real excited for a whole different audience to see it. I'm so excited. I love going to the Leicester Square. It's a wonderful place to do it. You know, I mean, it was great. I sold out in like a day or two. So,
Yeah. It was hard to get tickets.
yeah, they wanted me to do more shows, but I just thought I'd do one only because I have to go to Portugal and I'm doing the next show in Portugal at the, Tribeca Film Festival. And then so I figured I want to enjoy London a little bit. I'll do one show and then I'll be back and maybe I'll do like a mini tour, well, London, Edinburgh, all over. That
Yeah,
might be nice,
that'd be great. When are you flying out?
tomorrow.
Oh, wow. So
No,
you're going to get to see the city
Tuesday.
a little bit?
Yeah, yeah, I'll be there till I think June 9th, 8th, June 8th. So I'll be there, 4 or 5 days. It'll be nice.
Yeah, it will.
I'm looking
And
forward to it.
I did also see you in a few episodes of Blue Bloods. What was that like?
Great. I enjoy Blue Bloods is great. Tom Selleck is great. I'm on a series called Godfather of Harlem with Forrest Whitaker. I've been doing that now for 4 years. Um, so I love that show, and Blue Bloods is a great, great show. I'm sorry that they took it off the air, but it was on for 14 years, so I guess it had its run.
Yeah, I do. Years ago, I remember you in the comedy Analyze This. What was that
Yes.
experience like?
Oh, that was great because, I've done I think 4 movies with De Niro, and it's always great to work with him. We became really good friends after Bronx Tale, and I have so much fun doing Analyze This because Howard Ramis, the late director, was just a brilliant director, and he really allowed us to improvise. And Billy Crystal and we had a lot of fun with that. A lot of fun.
What is your drink of choice?
My drink?
Yeah, your
Wine.
alcoholic drink of choice.
I like wine.
You like wine? Red
Yes.
wine or
Red or white. Red. I like red or white. I like a Montrachet white wine. I like a good Cabernet. I like wine. Yeah, I never really drank. I was never really a big drinker, ever. I don't know. My family wasn't. Um, I mean, would I have a drink? Yeah. Like, if I really had to just say, "Hey, give me a drink," I would, an old fashioned might be good.
yeah.
Uh, I'm dying to try. What I really want to try is I don't know if I have time because I remember I was talking to, oh God, they said the Guinness in Europe is much better than here. And then the Guinness in Ireland is much better than here.
Yeah.
Then they said the Guinness at the Guinness plant is the best. So I was saying, gee, I wish I could have went to Ireland and had some of that, you know. But I'm looking to, I'm looking for some, I love fish and chips, and I'm looking to have some of that, you know. Um, I just like, I like London a lot. I really do. I'm very, very, I've always liked it. My daughter, uh, she studied, she's an actress, and she graduated University of Michigan, but she studied at RADA for 4 summers in a row, 4 years. So she really knows London, and she's coming with us. So she's all excited to go back there, you know. So it should be really nice.
Wow. And I imagine, are you quite a big foodie? What kind of food do you like?
Uh, I don't eat as much as I used to, only because, the less you eat, the longer you live. That's the rule, you know. So I try not to eat too much, but I love chicken and fish. Chicken and fish is my favorite, you know.
Mm.
But my son, he's a very good chef, but he's an actor too. But he goes, Dad, you got to have some what did he say? Bangers and beans or something.
Bangers and mash.
Bangers and mash. That's it.
That's it.
Come on, Dad, you gotta get into it over there. I said, well, maybe I'll try a little bit and see. You know,
Yeah. Or you could
but
have some pie and mash. That's quite nice. That's with, it's called
yeah,
liquor, but it's not alcoholic.
really.
It's like a green parsley sauce. It's very London. It's street food kind of thing. Very different. You will either love it or you'll hate it. It's one of them things.
And what is it called?
It's called Pie and Mash, but
Pie and mash.
there's a famous restaurant in London called Manzies, and I'd say go there.
Okay.
But it's sort of like a rustic place. It's not like a nice restaurant or anything.
Oh
It's
no, I
nice
like that.
enough,
I like
but nice food. Yeah, traditional
I like.
East
Are
End
you are you
food.
coming to see the show?
I'm not. I couldn't get a ticket. I would love to have come, but sadly, I
Ah,
didn't get a ticket.
yeah, it's sold out. I can't even help you. Damn.
Well,
Too
hopefully you
bad.
come over again.
Oh yeah, no, no, I will. I will. This is like a show and then a little vacation, then a show, and but I'm definitely going to come. I'm going to speak to my agents about coming back and do like a little bit of a stay here, like
Mm,
for 2, 3 weeks, a tour or something.
yeah.
Definitely.
And
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
that like acting out all the different parts? It must be, well, you've done it for a long time, so you're obviously very good at it, but I mean, it must be quite interesting.
It was very, very hard learning it. It took me to perfect it, to really perfect it before I started doing it was I would say 10 months of good rehearsals every day. Because don't forget, sometimes 4 or 5 people are talking at the same time, you know, and I don't use costumes or I do it more with accents and hand gestures and body language and uh, but it's practice, man. I worked really hard on it, and I think that's why it's so. And you know what's amazing, Chris? People don't see it once. They see it 10, 20, 30 times. I mean, on and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you, it's the only thing I would ever talk like that about. It doesn't matter. I can come back to London and do 5 nights in a row. It'll be like that for
Mm.
5 nights. It's crazy. It's it's an aberration. It's like a shooting star. I don't know what I wrote. I wrote something from the heart, and it just connects with people. People laugh, they cry. You'll see. They stand up and cheer. It's. I'm so humbled by it. I really am. And I love doing it. I've done it 1,000. 70 times.
Wow.
So
A lot of shows.
you would think I'd be tired of it. No. I'm just so excited to do it.
Yeah.
I get thrilled. My energy, and it's like something comes from up above and just goes through me.
And what was it like when you wrote it for the first time? And did you base it on real life experiences? And
Yeah, I base it both mainly on my life. It really all stems from the killing. I was sitting on my stoop in the Bronx, and these two cars, one was pulling in this way, the other one was pulling in that way. They were kind of like fighting over the parking space, I thought. And then one guy got out with a baseball bat and smashed the window of the guy trying to sneak in. And then the guy got out of the car and he went to hit him again. All of a sudden, this guy, Sonny, who was on the corner, I didn't know this at the time, that was his friend. And he came running over and killed the guy with the baseball bat. Shot him right in the face. I mean, literally, 5 feet from me. And I kind of just stared at him. And he stared at me. And then the next minute, I knew my father was dragging me up the steps. And then the cops came because they said the boy was there. The boy was there. People, and they asked me to identify him, and I refused. I said I don't know who did it. Even at that age, I knew better.
yeah.
And that was it. He liked me from that day on.
The era you grew up in, how different is it from today, do you
Well,
think?
when I grew up there, the whole neighborhood was all Italian.
Yeah.
Now it's more gentrified. There's Hispanic, there's Black, there's Albanian, but there's that one strip where all the shopping is on Arthur Avenue. That's still all Italian. But other than that, it's much more gentrified.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like Little Italy, that's very small now, isn't it, sadly?
Yes, that's correct. Exactly like that. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
I went to New York. I had a great time. I went to lots of mafia themed places. So I went to Sparks restaurant, where Paul
Yeah.
Castellano was whacked outside,
Oh,
and
yeah.
had a
I know
great
Sparks.
steak there. Really nice.
Good steaks. Yeah, I own two restaurants there, and my restaurants are great too. You know, Chazz Palminteri's, it's great steak too. Great steak.
I have to check that out.
Um, yeah, and I like to mention my podcast. And when you put it out there, if anybody wants
Sure.
to check out my podcast, it's the Chazz Palminteri Show, and it's great. I enjoy talking about my time in the Bronx and a Bronx Tale, and I've been announcing that I'll be in London and in Portugal, and then I go to the south of France, but that's a vacation. So I'm looking forward to it.
How did you get involved in that? Because I watch your podcast. I think it's great.
Thanks. How did I get? You know what happened? I was in. It was COVID. I was on a TV series. I was getting ready to do a movie. Uh, then I was going to do a show. Everything got canceled. The show got canceled. TV series. I never experienced anything like that. I mean, I just went from all of this work to nothing. No different than anybody else. And I said, what am I going to do? And I said, well, maybe I'll do a podcast. I could do it from my house and I could still talk to people. And that's how it started. And then it just exploded from there and took off.
And it's quite addictive doing podcasts as well, isn't it? I do a couple as well. There's something about doing them, and it's
Yeah,
quite enjoyable, isn't it?
very enjoyable. And it's a great business model. I sell my merchandise. I people, when I'm in I tell them where I'm going to be. I list all the shows that are coming up in all the different areas of New York or Florida, California, and it sells tickets, man. I mean, they just sell. You get you don't have years ago you used to have to go on the Tonight Show. You had to spend a lot of money on ads. You don't need that no more, Chris. It's over. The paradigm is changed. We control it now. not the studios, and it's great, you know.
Yeah. And what are some of your favorite gangster films yourself? Similar kind of to Bronx Tale,
Oh, well,
although it's different, as we said.
well, I mean, obviously, Goodfellas is one of my favorite movies. I thought that's a brilliant movie, and uh, that is, and I like uh, that one by the Coen brothers. I thought it was great. I forgot the name of it. It was such a good movie. It was great. It was John Turturro was in it, and it was such a good movie. I love unique gangster movies. Casino was great. I enjoyed that. Um, you know, I really like. To me, Pacino's greatest performance. I mean, don't get me. Well, his greatest performance as a gangster was Donnie Brasco.
Mm.
I thought he was great in that because he played this kind of down and out guy who really didn't have his shit together. And I thought he was just brilliant in it, you know. Just great, great.
Oh, yeah. A Fugazi.
Yeah, yeah. He was just wow. He was just brilliant in that. That was one of my favorite films of his. You know, there's a lot of great movies. The original Scarface with Paul Muni, that was really good. White Heat with James Cagney. You know, some great films, man. Oh, Angels with Dirty Faces. I don't know if you remember that one with Humphrey Bogart. Wow, great, just great.
And what do you think's the biggest difference between when you first started acting and today?
Well, what's the difference? Well, it's easier to get seen, but it's harder to be seen. I think when I was doing it, everything was you had to go there in person. Nothing was online. You had to be in LA. You had to be in New York. You had to drive around to all the studios. Now you can live anywhere and just you send in tapes and you know. Uh, I think it's easier in one way, but because it's so easy to get online and to make a film, there's a lot of kind of bad actors and shit movies out there because there's just so easy to make a film, you know. But if you make something really great, you know, quality rises to the top in the end, I think,
Yeah, I
you know.
suppose there's more quantity but less quality sometimes.
Yes, there's a lot more quantity. Back then it was a, you know, high end quality, man. The 60s and 70s and 80s. Oh, come on, those films were just, whew, you know, Midnight Cowboy and Coming Home and the studios they kind of, but they're coming back now because they realize, you know, they started doing all these Marvel movies, the comics, and I get it, you know, you spend 300-400 million, it makes 1 billion, okay, but what about independent movies and stories and what about that, you know? And it's starting to come back to that now. And I hope it comes back strong. I do.
Mm. It seems to me like a lot of the best dramas now are on the TV instead of at the cinema, which is quite
Oh yeah,
interesting.
the best work now is on television. You know, 5, 6 episodes. More people see it. What are you gonna do? Go into a theater, run for 4 weeks, then you get pushed out by Iron Man 4? You know, you might as well more people will see it on Netflix than will see it in the movies. So more people are going that way now.
Yeah.
You know.
What's your favorite scene from A Bronx Tale yourself?
The scene between Bob De Niro and the boy when he says the working man's a sucker. That's my favorite scene. When the boy's crying and he's mad because he gave the money back. And I remember when we shot that scene because I was behind the camera when Bob did that, and I was just blown away. And then he finished, and I went over to him and I said, "Best scene in the movie, man." You know, he just looked at me, and he's very modest. And he goes, "Oh, stop." You know, I go, "I'm telling you, best scene in the movie," and
Mm.
it was. It was.
Yeah, there was a lot of emotion from De Niro in that scene, wasn't there?
Yeah, and the kid was great, and that's the essence of the whole movie. The working man is the tough guy, not the wise guy. He says it to him, doesn't take much strength to pull a trigger, but try to get up in the morning day after day and feed three kids. I mean, phew, that's you know,
And what do you think happened to the main character at the end? Because he does have a scene with Joe Pesci, doesn't he? I believe.
yes, yes. Well,
Do you
at
think
the
he
end,
got mixed up in the life, or do you think he went on the straight and narrow?
well, do you want what really happened or what? Well, in the movie, you can see he goes to school and he strains his life out. But the kid who did it, he got mixed up and he
Ah,
ended up going to jail. But he's out now and he's trying to rebuild his life, which I'm happy about that.
yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. And is that true that you auditioned for The Sopranos as well at one stage?
Oh, I didn't audition. They offered me the role of Tony Soprano.
Oh, wow. And you turned it down at the time.
And I turned it down, but I
Mm.
didn't turn it down because I didn't like it. I turned it down. It was just not a good time in my life. I I was just doing these films and it just wasn't a good time.
Mm. Oh,
But I wasn't the first to be offered it. They said Ray Liotta was, and I might have been second choice after Ray. So, but Ray turned it down, then I did. But you know what? The right guy did it. The right guy did it. He was brilliant. And he was a wonderful man and a great, great actor. And the right guy did it, so it worked out great.
yeah. I suppose that must happen a lot in acting. Is there any roles that you wanted that you didn't get, or
Well, one that I turned down that still bothers me, and that's only because I love the movie so much, was Donnie Brasco.
Mm.
I was offered the role of Sonny Black, and I was directing something, and I should have just put it off and did that and pushed the movie back. But for some reason, I didn't do it, and I just love the movie so much, and I could have been in it. And but Michael Madsen, God rest his soul, he did a great job. But I just love the movie.
Yeah, yeah, it's another great gangster film. And as this is for radio, can you give me one of your favorite songs from one of your favorite artists, and we'll play it on the show?
Oh,
Hard question, but
yeah. Well, there's so many great songs. Oh my God. Well, one of my favorite artists is Sting, and I love "Message in a Bottle."
great.
That's one of my favorite songs. And you too, I love with "Beautiful." That's another one of my favorite songs. But Sting is one of my favorite. Billy Joel, God bless him. You know,
Yeah, so
scenes
many
from
to choose from, isn't there?
yeah, scenes from an Italian restaurant. So any one of those songs I love. They're all great songs.
Great. Well, thanks a lot for joining us, Chaz. It's been great to speak to you, and we'll look forward to
Oh,
seeing
great to
you in
speak with you
London
too.
on the 6th.
Yes, hope to see you there. God bless. Thank you.
Right.